see. I can't see. No, I'm just playing. Today we are going to be doing a book haul. I hate trying to film this because like I have this whole thing in my head of like how I want to film it, and then it just doesn't go how I plan at all. And yes, I understand the magic of editing. I can make it how I want, but I don't have an editing program, and even if I did, I'm filming on a Google and it's not transporting the files over correctly in the right format, and I don't have a program to be able to switch the files over to be able to use it correctly, so it's just a hassle. So I try and do it, not necessarily all in one take, but good enough where I don't have to do too much editing. But that never happens. So, as I am filming this, it is January 29th, which is my birthday. I haven't filmed a long form video for you guys in quite some time. Jobs have been killing us lately. Having one car has been killing us lately, and it's just, yeah, it's been a hassle. All of these books were either from Christmas or I got shortly after Christmas. One of them was a pre-order book that I recently just got. And then there are 2 books in the stack that are technically from my boyfriend, but I plan on reading as well, so I'm just considering them part of my book haul. So in front of me right now, I have 12 books and then 1 item that is book related. So let's start with a couple of these. I'm not going to go in any particular order, I'm just going to go from the stack. So we have The Monarchs by Cass Morgan and Daniel Page. I knew the author, but I just had to still look. So this is a second book to the Ravens, like the Sorority Witches series. And I tracked the first one down, and that was one of the books that was technically not part of Christmas. I got in January, which I have, I'll show you guys later. But, so the first one is The Monarchs. Then these next 2 are the ones that my boyfriend got, but I still plan on reading. So The Coven by Harper L. Woods, which is the first book in a duology. We'll probably get the second book at some other time. But this one has the nice sprayed edges. And yeah, I'm glad that my boyfriend is starting to get into reading. He actually hasn't read anything just yet, but that's what happens when, you know, work is killing you. This one I actually got for my boyfriend for Christmas, and I plan on reading it as well. It's a non-fiction autobiography, if I'm not mistaken, and it's Knife by Salman Rushdie. I honestly don't know too much about this other than it was like an attempted murder. So that's interesting to me because I do watch a bunch of like shows like Criminal Minds and stuff like that. So be interesting to read. And I know it's a shorter one too, so it'd be nice if I get into a slump at any point. These next 3 all go together, and like I said, I don't know if they're in frame, but I'll pull them over. This is the Bloodsworn Saga. If you follow me on any of my other social media, I've actually posted about this one already. This is one that my mom got me, and I am really looking forward to reading this one. So we have The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. That's the first one in the series. The Hunger of the Gods, second one in the series. And then Fury of the Gods. That is the third one in the series. I have heard really good things about this series, and it's one that I'm definitely intending on reading this year. It's not going to go to 2026. But I've been reading shorter stuff to try and get me into the year. I think the longest book I've read so far, maybe 450 pages. I think the one I'm currently reading may surpass that by a little bit. I honestly don't remember, but I'm looking forward to reading those. This next one was actually a Secret Santa gift, and my coworker that got it for me asked me for 3 recommendations because he knew the genres that I liked because we had previously talked about reading and stuff, but he didn't want to go in there completely blind and have to try and figure out what's the first in a series, if I have any of these, and stuff like that. So he asked for 3 recommendations, and I put those on a card for him, and he picked out one of them. And the one he picked out is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. And this one has the nice little sprayed edges. It is the paperback version, which is fine. I'm getting used to having more paperback, but I still do prefer hardcover. It just, paperback is more convenient because it's cheaper and it doesn't take up as much space. So it's it'll be nice to read this one. I know it's not fantasy like I'm used to reading. It's set in our world, follows 2 people that are game developers, so that'll be interesting to read because I love the game development process. At one point I wanted to actually be in game design, but that didn't happen. And then these next 4 were also gotten with the Monarchs at this place called Ollie's Bargain Mart, and they were all like $4 to $5 a piece. So I got all of them, all 5 of them for I think $26 or something like that. The only problem I have with them is that the next 3 have particular covers that I can't find the matching ones to, and they are part of a series, so it's frustrating. I don't want to rebuy the first book to match the new covers, and I can't find the second book that matches these covers. It's just a whole mess. It's a book ick, and I'm tired of not being able to find books that are older than just a couple years that are matching in good condition and the same format, paperback versus hardcover. But the next one is, if I can get it off, is Beast of Prey by Anya Gray. Again, I don't know much about these other than reading what I read on the back synopsis and what I looked up to see if it was part of a series or not. This one is a trilogy, so I'm going to have to hunt for the second 2. The next one is Silver in the Bone by Alexandra Bracken. This one, again, is one that, oh, that's why I was taking, it's got some little residue there. Let me tell you, it was a pain in the butt getting the damn stickers off these books. I can't stand when companies put like extra stickers and stuff. Ollie's Bargain Mart puts their own price stickers on here because obviously they're selling it for cheaper. And it just, they would not come off these damn books. But this one is another one that it's going to be hard to find the cover that matches this one because they have 2 new covers that are actually at Barnes & Noble. I really like those covers, but I just want one that matches. I don't want to have to rebuy the first book. And this one is a duology. The next one is also a duology, which is The Midnight Lad by Marie Rutkowski. I really like this cover compared to the, I guess it's the new ones. I honestly don't know. I didn't look on like the publication timeline on if the new one, if they were new compared to this one. I like this cover a lot more. However, I did find out that I can get the matching cover for the second one, because it was a duology, on Blackwell's, which is the UK book site. So I'm excited about that, and I'm gonna have to see if I can find the other ones too. I just wanted to do a quick search for this one on if I could get the second one or not. But yeah, I really like the art that's on this book. It's nice. And then the last one that I gotten from Ollie's Bargain Mart is Gallant by V.E. Schwab, and this is my first V.E. Schwab book. This one is a YA gothic horror thriller mystery type deal. I honestly love the cover, that it's more paper than glossy. It's the artwork on here is cool too. But that'll be my first dive into V.E. Schwab, which I've heard great things about. This next one I got for Christmas from my boyfriend's sister, and I had a feeling I was gonna get this book because a month or two ago, probably 2 months now, our son had a martial arts tournament and they came down for it. His mom and his sister and his grandmother, they all came down for it to be able to watch him, and we ended up going to the mall for food, and they went and ate at a different restaurant. So while we were waiting for them to get done, my boyfriend and I went to Barnes and Noble, and this edition of this book just came out, and I was showing it to him because I was excited about it, and he picked it up and was carrying it around, and his sister and our son ended up coming into Barnes to tell us that they were done, and she was looking for a couple of books while she was there, and she ended up going to check out, and I turned and realized that my boyfriend didn't have the book anymore, asked him if he had put the book up, and he said yes. I had a feeling that he gave the book to her because it was getting close to Christmas time for her to be able to buy for me. And that's exactly what happened, which is the nice floral edition of Light Lark by Alex Astor. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one, and if you guys haven't seen it already, which I would be surprised if you haven't, I will take this out, but right now I don't plan on doing that. So I'll just set that aside with the other ones. And then another thing that I got for Christmas is actually a Kindle. So this I found myself and ordered it, and of course talked to the boyfriend about this being a Christmas gift for me. I had this for months before Christmas came along, and I was dying to be able to use it because I had run out of physical books to read and just didn't have the time and the extra money to be able to go and get more books. But you know, we had spent money on this, and I knew I could get a bunch of Kindle Unlimited books. So yeah, I'm really happy that I have this. It's really changed how I read. I have all these physical books, but I've been reading quite a few on here already. The other two were gotten, one of them, like I said before, was a pre-order, and the other one is to go with one of the books that I got from Ollie's Bargain Mart, because it is the first book, and that first book is The Ravens by Danielle Page and Cass Morgan. And I got this off of Pango for a couple of bucks, so I was happy to be able to get that and complete the duology. I was intending on being able to do that for the other ones that I got from Ollie's Bargain Mart, but like I said, it's been difficult to find the ones that match, whether it be hardcover or the actual art style matching. This other one is a pre-order, just like all the other girlies out there. Onyx Storm. I am very disappointed in the fact that I didn't get this until the 27th. This book was released. That's what I get for putting them on the couch. This book was released on the 21st. I understand that there were delays, obviously, because of the weather that was going on in the US right now. However, I got this from Amazon. Amazon should know how shipping works, considering that's all their company ever does. It was delayed till Thursday. No, ma'am. It was delayed till Thursday, and then it got delayed till Saturday, and then it said it wasn't going to get here till my birthday, which is today that I'm filming this. And then fortunately it showed up 2 days ago. But I'm happy to have it in my hand. It is the deluxe edition, not the Target edition. But yeah, it's just frustrating that obviously I've been seeing all these people read Onyx Storm as soon as it comes out and everything, and I don't get that opportunity. I pre-ordered this months ago, and it got to me a week late. So that's frustrating. after showing you guys all of that and realizing, you know, we are almost at the end of January, it's pretty obvious that I've already read some of these books. My first book that I read this year was Gallant. I adored this book. I don't know if I'm gonna do any like deep dive reviews just yet. Obviously, it's better for me, as well as most people, to go ahead and do a deep dive review on a book that they just finished because everything's still fresh in their mind. But I may just do a review at the end of each month for the books that I've read. Then out of the other physical books that I have, I finished the sorority series, so the Ravens and the Monarchs. I enjoyed the first book more than I enjoyed the second book. I don't feel like the second book honestly was that necessary. It's obvious that the Ravens ended up on a cliffhanger, but I don't know, I didn't enjoy that book as much. I honestly was pretty close to DNFing this book because when I initially first started reading it, I read, I think, maybe 2 or 3 chapters, like, oh god, cool, this is gonna be just girl drama. Which obviously there is because it's talking about sorority witches, but it wasn't as bad. It was tolerable for me. I'm just not one for girl drama. I've grown up with that in my life and I just don't want to read about it. So I was close to DNFing it. I made myself read like 20% into the book before I made an actual decision. I was more intrigued by the magic system than, you know, deterred by the girl drama. So that's what made me finish it. There was a lot more drama in the second book, and I think that's why I didn't like it as much. And then since I have my Kindle, I have also read The Serpent and the Wings of Night. What's the second book to that? I don't remember. I've read the finished duology of the Crowns of Nyaxia series. I have read the standalone little novella, The Six Scorched Roses, and then I'm currently reading the first book in the second duology that ties into that whole world. Was Krista Broadbent, I think that's the author. So I've gotten pretty far already on my reading goal, which my reading goal for this year is 45 if you haven't seen any of my other social media, which I feel like is pretty fair considering I read 36, not 35. I figured that out later. We'll talk about that in a different video. I read 36 books last year, and there was a 3-month span where I didn't read at all. So I feel like 45 is a pretty safe bet of me getting to and not killing myself over. But considering I have already read Gallant, Ravens, Monarchs, that's 3, then those 2, then that one. Is there another one that I read too? I feel like there's another one that I'm missing that I read as well. But I've read like 7 or 8 books. I think I'm on book 8. And according to Fable, which I'm on, says that I should be getting to my reading goal by September. Which will be interesting to see if it's accurate, just because it's going off of how quickly I've been reading books in January. I have slowed down quite a bit, to be completely honest, because I was hoping that Onyx Storm was going to get here and I could immediately read it. So I stopped reading the books that, or didn't start the next book in a series because I wanted to read Onyx Storm when I got it. But since that was delayed, that didn't happen. I started a new book. And then now that I've gotten this, I don't want to continue the other book. But I don't know. We'll figure it out as time comes. But that is my first book haul of 2025. And I plan to do more videos for you guys. I actually probably gonna film like 2 more videos today just because nobody's in the house. I've got the house to myself till 7:30, 8. See you later, little beans. Whoa, tongue twister. See you later, little beans.